because of all the changes that have been all the way from the Face It Major until now, where we basically have had him and Android, leaving the roster, nothing as a stand-in for a while. We've got Ricky being stuck in Canada. We've got all these different things going on all at the same time. And obviously, if you are trying to build a project from the ground up and you keep having to take little detours from the main objective, that becomes a really big problem.
We had like a full team meeting with Lake and everyone to either decide if we're gonna continue working together.
We had a hard talk where we all faced some really hard truths. This is tough.
We're gonna continue to work really hard in Counter-Strike to build a compelling, competitive team. But for right now, it's just broken. It makes me sad to say, but it's broken.
We've actually had visa issues with Ricky. He's actually has to stay in Canada. We're playing with Jordan, obviously. We love having Jordan around. He lives in California, so he's only a drive away.
So this is my first LAN with Complexity, and we had around 2 weeks to prepare. So I was able to learn, all my roles on the team and all of our different strats for every map. So feeling good.
Obviously, qualifying was what we needed to get done so that the guys can play in the next stage next month. But the issue is Ricky might still be dealing with visa issues. For their sake, hopefully Rick can figure his stuff out, because I know it's tough, but we just had to win one best of three.
It's been back and forth throughout the second half here. Complexity crawl their way back, bring this one back into OT now.
It's a real shame that we are having these visa issues still in the esports world. It's one of the things that's going to continue to haunt us probably for a while to come. And sometimes it even does actually interfere with a player's career.
Makusta gets the trade. It's now nothing alone. He's coming up the vents as quietly as he can. He sees the bomb even worked out point blank.
And
picks up a quick kill.
Overall, it does put a bit of a limit on, how much freedom you have to create exactly the roster you want.
The clock, though, is against Complexity. They have to get that bomb in 13 seconds, and they are end up open angles. Twist and Naf getting the last two frags.
The frustrating thing was Rick's visa was approved with Rogue, and then we kind of went to renew it with us just months later, and we got a denial and had to resubmit, and it was a problem. It's been very difficult to build a team vibe this year with one substitute and people in different places, and I think that kind of contributed to where we're at now.
Hopefully when esports gets more recognized by the mainstream, hopefully within the next 5-10 years we'll have a little bit more leeway to try and open up some of those doors.
That is going to be great kill for him. Is he able to pick up another, and he does it. 16-13 as nothing takes down Zelsis. It's a 2-0 out of Complexity here.
Rory was forced to switch. He's been playing A with Stanislaw. He was forced to go back to B with Hunter, who's been playing with Rick, and Rick's been opping. So just kind of switched the dynamics around, and we just had to win one best of three.
Yeah, so we're here back in Burbank. Probably about a month ago now, we were here on our original EPL date. It's weird not wearing black and red. Seriously, it's been a while, almost 4 years for me wearing black and red and having the old logo. So we have our second chance. I think we came third in the group, and second and third get to come back and compete again to try and qualify. The Ricky's visa problems is still arising. We still are unsure about his visa. This tournament we're going to be using Ye instead of Jordan.
That was the one I remember you liked. That was on each out.
Yeah, having Jacob or Ye back playing with us has been like a very, very nice experience. I talked to him about how like his break has been really beneficial for him. It feels like, he's even lost a lot of weight, but he said it was like a really good reflective time period for himself. Just been like really witty, really funny. It's just been a very good vibe having him around.
After like the roster change and stuff with Complexity, I really needed some time to myself because I was really like just undergoing a lot of like depression. I was so stressed out with all the matches, tournaments. I needed a lot of time to really just think about my situation, what I wanted to do with my life. What are my goals and objectives? Because like right now, I went through with what I thought was my dream, and now I'm in this situation. I kind of just found my identity as a person again after going through all this these issues, and now I'm doing so much better now. I'm really happy to come back here and play with the guys. I miss them a lot. So.
Before our last trip to LA for ESL, you know, if we're being honest, the team chemistry has not been great. Being a part of a team is always difficult, and team chemistry is a very fragile thing.
dephh, 4 HP against 2 CT players. Jacob's gonna give him a 1v1.
That's one. dephh now with a little bit of a fake. Smooya just trying to peer on into that site and find anything he can. He looks away and Smooya able to catch him. And that's it, Dallas. 16-8. Renegades will take the series.
I think there was a lot of consternation amongst different players that were having a difficult time getting along, and we were in the middle of a huge rebrand and opening up our brand new headquarters. So I feel like we could have done more, and I accept my responsibility for not having the time to really come alongside the team and try to mend some of these issues.
It's all up to him. He's now stomping around, but he's just walked right into Fur. A flashbang was there, and the next 2 kills instantaneous. MIBR are victorious. A great little spurt from Complexity, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, after the loss versus MIBR, our chances of making the playoffs disappeared. And it's like really disappointing, you know, because ESL Pro League playoffs is obviously a big event. Unfortunately, this is the second time in my career that I'm missing Pro League playoffs. The first time was last season where I missed the Dallas one, so it's like been pretty heartbreaking.
Isris 4-3, 4-2 now, lead on the advantage, looking for the absolute last round, and the clock is to the favor as well for Isris.
Meyer now taking down dephh towards those tunnels, and Stanislaw falls, and Azurs have done it. 16-8, Dallas. They're gonna upset Complexity.
I'm still very, very adamant that we're going to continue to work really hard in Counter-Strike to build a compelling, competitive team. But for right now, it's just broken. It makes me sad to say, but it's broken.
It kind of became a thing while in LA to hang out by the poolside in the nice weather and just like take everything in. So after the match, you know, we were just talking about the match, CS, and life.
$60 a lot, and sometimes they'll just flash over and come out ladder in mid.
Peter messaged us on WhatsApp and said, "Are you guys by the pool?" We said, "Yep, head on over."
And then Peter came up to us and he said that he wants to quit the team.
And that's when the chat really started to begin. It was kind of, we were airing our dirty laundry. It was therapeutic to get it off our chest. And that's what we used it for.
We had a hard talk where we all kind of, you know, without getting into details or pointing fingers at people, we all faced some really hard truths about, you know, several hard topics.
We outlined all the issues that we've had, the lack of prep, the lack of demo watching, the lack of adding new stuff.
You know, Matt really poured his heart out to him about like, you know, wanting him to stay on the team and stuff.
He's such a great player. There's a lot I could say about him that, you know, possibly this is tough.
We tried to convince him to, you know, maybe stay on the team and try being a lurk because we thought he would still make like a really good role player outside of just being an IGL. It was like a shock to all of us how strongly he felt about wanting to leave the team and thinking it's best for both parties. And then, you know, after you take it all in, you kind of realize that maybe it is.
Just the way things were working out, it just wasn't right, and you know, something needed to change. So I think he felt that it would just be best for him to move on.
So after we got back, Peter and I sat down. It was apparent that there had been a breakdown, and people no longer wanted to work together. We all got in a room and had a very calm and mature conversation.
I think what was said amongst the team kind of had already been said. And I think that meeting was so that Jason could get a feel for what the poolside meeting kind of had already been like.
It was apparent to me at that point that this was not something we could fix right now. The other players felt that it would just be in their best interest to move a different direction. So with all due respect to Peter, he's an incredible player. It was just time, at least for now, to part ways and see what we can build.
I mean, you know, when me and Peter first joined the team, we joined as like a duo practically. You know, we joined together, going through like the same adversities in Optic, and with like the commitment to like make the team good. And then, you know, through trials and error, we had that run in London, which is probably like the highlight of our time together. It's just really sad because even though you go through this change, you kind of wish we did more together in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player. I don't think he'll struggle getting a team, that's for sure. Unfortunately, it didn't work out here, but I wish him the best of luck in the future.
Since our IGL's out of the team, you need someone to call the shots. You know, you need a leader. I think Matt felt the same way as I did without even talking to each other, that I thought that Rory would make a pretty good leader.
Rory is stepping up. He's going to be doing the IGL thing. He's got a great understanding of the game. He's our oldest, most experienced player on the team, and he'd like to have a shot at running the team and practices kind of the way he envisions.
The one thing I will say that this change has done is it's rejuvenated the team spirit and energy. They spent all Memorial weekend here practicing and grinding over the weekend.
It's kind of lit a fire up my ass a little bit. We have this headquarters for a reason. We want to work hard, we want to watch demos. We haven't been able to have everyone together. We cannot do the demo watching efficiently how we'd like to and use the headquarters as it's supposed to be. So it's been kind of frustrating to have people away, but finally Ricky can come back into America and compete.
Finally. Ricky's got his visa. He's going to London with us, and then after London, he's going to be coming back, and we're finally going to be practicing in the HQ. You know, it's been a really long time since all 5 of us have been in a room practicing together.
You said 5 of us. What's our 5th player situation?
So I want to talk about it, or like,
yeah.
A lot of people might know that are watching this. I have a player named Obo, or Owen, as we know him, from FPL. He's a young gun.
We're going to be working with Obo moving forward as a permanent 5th, and we're all excited. You know, it's a big task for everyone, including me, bringing someone as young as him into the team, but he's been doing great. Every day, he's very receptive to criticism. He shows up on time. He shows up with a lot of energy and passion. His comms are good. He's killing people.
It's the first time in a while I haven't been the youngest on a team, so that'll be interesting. The age is getting to me, but I'm excited to have him.
No one's taking it lightly, dude. We're in this new HQ at the same time, so the change of environment and just being in here and taking things more professionally has had obvious impact on everyone. I can just see everyone giving 110% right now, and it's exciting times.
We've got some core components in this team that, in my opinion, are working out very well. The fact that they've, kept up the spirits, they still believe in the project. They seem, and some say it's hungrier than ever now, even though it's been upsetting to watch and it's been kind of hard because you know that it must be hard to pick yourself up for the next tournament knowing that now you're playing with a stand-in. The fact that it's still a unit and it's still moving on, I think that's encouraging.
We have so many positive things going on in Complexity and so much momentum in this team and in this company. To constantly have these Counter-Strike struggles, it's really frustrating, but that's when you fight, and that's when you claw, and that's when you battle back, and that's what we're gonna do. At the end of the day, we're gonna keep chugging until Complexity fans have a real contender in Counter-Strike.